Today I had a pound of ground beef, so I decided to make ground beef soft tacos. This is easy to make and it's a great weeknight dinner. Here we go. Okay, so first I'm making homemade soft flour tortillas. I have several videos on my channel. If you want to see an in-depth recipe video, I will link it in the description below. These dough balls have rested for about 20 minutes, so now it's time to roll them out. And I actually made these smaller in size because I feel like it just makes it easier for soft tacos to handle, but you do you. And also, you don't have to make your flour tortillas from scratch. You definitely can buy store-bought, but everything else is so easy. I thought I have time for this, so I'm making these today. Okay, so once you roll these out, or once I roll these out, I like to place them on the side of the bowl to rest again. In the meantime, you definitely can start preheating your griddle or comal to cook these on. And like I said, check the description below. I always put additional information, ingredient list, measurements, or links to videos to things that I make in this current video, like the soft flour tortillas. Okay, I'll repeat the process until these are rolled out, and now it's time to cook these. I have a hot griddle, and a little tip or trick, if you add your tortilla to the griddle and you don't see a reaction within like the first 5 to 10 seconds, you need to crank up the heat. But this griddle was really hot. It did bubble, but once I flip it over, I feel like it kind of started charring a little too quick. So let's see here. So yeah, you might want to turn your griddle down if it's too smoky. And then eventually it just kind of cooks it a lot more evenly. So these are done. I'm going to wrap these up to stay warm. But those are my soft flour tortillas for these soft tacos. Okay, the ground beef. In a preheated pan with some cooking oil, I'm adding my ground beef. This is kind of on the leaner side, which is why I added cooking oil. And I can't tell you how quickly and easily I make this. Some people like to add fresh ingredients like onion and garlic. Nope, not today. I'm doing all dry seasonings with the ground beef, and that's it. So I'm going to break this apart and start the cooking process. I want to cook and brown it. Here I'm going to add like 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon of salt. It also depends if you want to add things like beef bouillon. You'll need to scale back on the salt. Here I have some onion powder going in, like a 1/2 teaspoon to a teaspoon. Some granulated garlic powder, same amount, it's up to you. I like to add some smoked paprika, like a 1/2 teaspoon. Here I kind of added a little more. And I'm going to add around a tablespoon of fancy light chili powder. It's like a chili powder blend, and it's not spicy. Okay, so I'm going to give this a mix, and then I realized I also want to add some ground cumin. Here I have a little bit left in this jar, like a 1/2 teaspoon works. So I'm just going to continue breaking apart the ground meat, combine it with these seasonings, cook it, brown it until it's done and looks like this. Okay, so it did render a little extra fat along with that cooking oil. That's okay. You can drain that or just use a paper towel to get that out of the pan. But this is done, so I'm going to shut off the heat, and that's ready for when I need to use it. So for these soft ground beef tacos, I'm adding some mild cheddar cheese. I've shredded it. Here I'm just going to chop up some shredded lettuce. I'm also going to add some Roma tomato, just dice that up. And you can really top these how you like. I'm also going to be adding some scallions. You could just do diced onion, and that's it. And I'm going to build a taco. This is such a simple dinner. I love to make this when I just have ground beef. It just makes dinner so easy. And like I said, with the toppings, you could also add like sour cream. If you have refried beans, that is a great way to stretch the ground beef to fill the tacos. That also works. So while I'm making this taco, I want to say the recipe for the soft flour tortillas will yield around 16 if they're small. And with a pound of ground beef and all the toppings, you could easily make minimum 10 to 12 tacos. It just depends how you want to stretch the meat and how many tortillas that you make. But really, I mean, this is kind of like a budget-friendly meal. So I'm going with some Cholula hot sauce. You can opt to make like a really good salsa for this, but this is it. This is the taco. And I'm going to make a whole bunch for the family, and this is what's for dinner. So easy, so delicious to make. And my son actually requested this. This is a very American style taco, by the way. There's really nothing like authentic to Mexico, but this is just something easy that I like to make. I keep this like in a dinner rotation. And like I said, the toppings vary. If I had a can of refried beans or frozen like charro beans that I make, if I had some, I would have definitely added that into the taco because like I said, it makes it a lot more filling. But here we are, simple, soft, ground beef tacos for a weeknight meal. You could also serve this with a side of rice to make it even heartier. So good. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.